Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
Now, 30th anniversary, World of Noise. You got the tour, you've got the deluxe album, and it even has 6 bonus tracks on there, and you remastered all these songs.
Right. I found the tapes. I didn't know where the master tapes were. I thought they were gone. I thought they were just lost. I found this big box of tapes, and a lot of them didn't even have names on them, but they did. The ones that were the World of Noise master tapes were there and marked, and I had to actually get this guy who's a tape archivist, and he baked the tapes. He baked the tapes, actually baked them in this special oven, and we bounced everything down to digital and listened to what we had, and it just sounded so much better than the version that Capitol put out in '94. Just the mastering of it was so much better, and so I had it remastered with my guy that does my albums now, and I just think it sounds phenomenal. And we found a bunch of other songs, the original tapes for other songs, and we mastered those, and we put 6 songs on there, so there's 18 songs on the record.
Wow.
It's pretty good value, I think.
I think it's a great value, and I got to tell you too, listening to the album, you know, from all the songs, and obviously knowing the music from when you first released it, but certainly with the bonus tracks that you put on here, your voice sounds so incredible, but also it shows a snapshot of you and the band from 30 years ago. What does that feel like when you go back and listen to that now, and as you have, you know, progressed and grown as an artist with the band and as a solo artist, what does that feel like, Art?
Well, I mean, when you look at pictures and listen to it, it feels like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like that long ago in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, it feels like it was 100,000 years ago, you know? I mean, who's that handsome man with that strong voice, you know? and that much lower hairline, right? But
you had great hair.
Well, yeah, not so much anymore. But, you know, I just hit 60, so I'll take it. I think we're all doing pretty well for where we are, and by having this come out in this document of where we were, I know it's people are going to hear it that have never heard it before and go, "Wow, this is really like loud and rough and all this stuff." But I think when you, like he's talked about the voice, when you hear the voice, when you hear the phrasing and the melody, and even the way the songs move, I think that seed is in every Everclear song that's happened since then. I think it's easy to hear where it came. These are the roots. These are the roots of what Everclear was.
Well, you know, and that's what I love about it, is really the rawness and hearing, you know, Everclear, you know, at that time, you know, in '94. And then obviously, you know, all the hit songs, I mean, 12 hit songs in the top 40, Art, you know, that you achieved, selling over 6 million albums and everything. And like you said, this was the root of it. But what always made Everclear so unique to me, and as soon as I heard one of your songs come on the radio or somebody spun an album of it, was your voice. And you know, your voice has always been so strong and unique, and your phrasing, and it's so cool to hear that from that early work and then to today.
Well, thank you for saying that. I like I said before, I think it's the root, and I think there's strong connections with everything. If you've seen us live over the years, we've always had much harder, more rock and roll, more immediate feel to it. There's always been a juxtaposition between what's recorded and what's live. And like you, I grew up with bands in the 70s and 80s where that was the case. You'd have really produced records, but you'd see a band live and they'd be more just to the wall, just rock and roll. And we're the same. I think our live shows have been always much closer to that World of Noise kind of attitude.
I totally agree. And I also love the video that's out with the interview with you, the retrospective.
With Matt Pinfield?
Yes, yeah. What a great interview. And I mean, the pictures and everything, once again, much like this World of Noise album, Art, I think it gives an incredible snapshot, you know, of your life and growing up in Santa Monica, you know, and the hit songs and all of your material that we know from the years. but it's nice to hear it in your own voice in this interview.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I mean, when me and Matt talked about doing it, it was pretty exciting. And originally, it was going to be much shorter. It was going to be like three-minute segments.
Yeah.
But we just started asking more questions and writing more ideas, and finally, we just said, you know what, we're going to record what it is, and just not worry about the time. And I think it came out to about almost 30 minutes total. But you know, it's telling. It's not even the whole story. That's, you know, it's
Right.
just touching on the good points, pretty much. But you know, and I love Matt. I've known Matt's been a dear friend since 1994, I think. So yeah, it was fun doing it with him. I'm very appreciative of him taking the time.
Well, you know, and it's interesting too, Art, because I came away learning some things too. It's like, you know, you started out playing guitar, you know, as a young teenager, and then within 2 years started your first band and things like that came out, you know, in that interview, and just a lot of your life that you've put into these songs and that come from your heart. And it's like, and so once again, talking about, you know, World of Noise, it's the rawness, man. The guitar, you know, I'm listening to the songs and it's like the guitars are like on the verge of feedback.
All the time, because Eric, I couldn't afford new tubes. I mean, I convinced this guy who had this basement studio, a 4-track, quarter-inch 8-track, actually quarter-inch 8-track, to let me record, and I traded him a digital delay and a reverb unit. And so we didn't have any money; it was all on trade. And I couldn't afford to put new tubes in my amp, so it kept like overheating, and blue sparks were shooting out of it, and we'd have to cool it off and put ice on top of it, which in hindsight is a really bad idea.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We didn't die, and we got through it. And but yeah, there's just every time there's some songs where it's just like. Just constantly, you know, and
it's like, you know, it is so funny now, Art, as we both know, it's like so many artists now, you know, rock bands are like trying to come up with that sound.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're like going,
yeah.
I got to have a pedal. How are we going to do this? You got it all natural with a tube amp that had dead tubes in it, and you're trying to keep it from overheating and blowing up.
Poverty. Who knew? They just need a poverty pedal, and then they'll be fine.
But it sounds so good. And obviously with the remaster too, I think you guys did an excellent job tweaking it once you had the tapes and you took it to digital, to where I think your voice comes across better than the original the original album.
Well, it just shows you the guy, my buddy Brad over at Euphonics Mastering, he's been killing my albums for just, not killing them, he's been making them come alive for the last 10 years. Wow. And he's amazing. And we worked on it together, and it just, you know, there was so much more meat on the bone than what you got from that 94 version. Right. Just mid-range and lower range. And I mean, it is what it is. It's recorded on quarter-inch 8-track.
Yeah.
But it's still, and it now, it's not, now when you crank it up, it sounds great. Before, when you crank it up, you kind of twinge because there was just too much high end, right, and too much, you know, it was just irritating. Now it sounds great. And bringing those bonus tracks back to life, you know, we're actually doing one of the bonus tracks live. We're doing 3 songs off World of Noise, which we haven't done in years, that many, and one song off of the bonus tracks. And it's just so much fun to play.
Oh yeah, well, and I was going to bring up too, Art, that you guys are going to be coming out with this deluxe edition remastered on vinyl later this year, also.
Yeah, we're in the process of. I'm getting on a meeting today to decide which company we're going with, and then we got the artwork ready. It's going to go out tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get it by August. That's the idea.
Be incredible. Well, and on the tour, you've got some other great bands with you as well, such as Fastball and the Nixons, and on this 30th anniversary tour. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, it's already a lot of fun. We're 6 songs in. Excuse me, we're 6 shows in, Eric, and it's just been great. We got a show, another show in Texas tonight. We go to Oklahoma, and then Memphis, and then we head east. And it's just gonna be a blast. We're gonna get to Nashville, I think, in a couple of weeks, like right after 4th of July, and that's gonna be fun. So we're just out here for the summer, man.
It's incredible. I'll tell you what, congratulations on the remastering World of Noise, the deluxe edition that is out now on digital and CD formats. It's going to be out on vinyl soon. I can't wait to have that in my hands and listen to it. Also, the 30th anniversary tour of Everclear. Art Alexakis, thanks so much for coming back on the show.
Thank you, Eric. Great to see you again.
Good to see you.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.